Thiruvalluvar, the 2nd century BC Tamil poet, while defining greatness once said, "All beings are the same in birth, but work decides their varied worth." The next few minutes are dedicated to a man who through his hard work and dedication rose high to achieve greatness and to claim a piece of space to his own name. Dr. Avul, Pakir, Jainulahdeen, ABDUL KALAM.
He was a guru who has shaped up my professional, both technical and managerial capabilities over the years.
He is a great dreamer.
He unleashes the potential of people.
I think everything about him is unique.
Born into a modest family of a boatman, this small-town boy came out of the narrow lanes and by-lanes of the sleepy coastal town of Rameshwaram to soar into the sky like a bird. While in his 5th grade, Kalam's teacher, Shiva Subramanya Iyer, took the class to the seashore to explain the aerodynamics of the bird's flight, thus igniting the mind of his young student.
What should be my goal of my life, what should be my aim of my life was seeded there on that day. That's why afterwards I took physics as my special subject. Then I took aeronautical engineering, the engineering education. Then I became a rocket engineer.
As a rocket engineer at ISRO, Kalam's significant contributions started with sounding rockets, which flew payloads from India and abroad. While materializing sounding rockets, Kalam got absorbed into the field of composite materials, which led him to develop a fiberglass motor case for the SLV, and ultimately to the birth of reinforced plastic center.
In my opinion, the aspect of space research which I would like to stress most is in relation to the national capability, the self-confidence that this will generate.
My father Vikram Sarabhai's dream to build India's own satellite launch vehicle propelled Kalam. As project manager, he designed, developed and operated the overall SLV system.
The problems in building such a multiple complex launch vehicle system is mostly the type of the management, one side, another side the technology development.
You know, when we started the project SLV3, we had the experience of building only some small rockets, and practically no country or no laboratory will come forward to our assistance. So it's virtually a learning by oneself.
Along with this, he also designed the composite 4th stage structure of the vehicle. This particular task called for a number of innovations in the field of fabrication technology and saved India billions of rupees in foreign exchange. Years of hard work, innovation and development culminated into the 4-stage SLV3 rocket and the satellite payload.
SLV3 is the beginning, and we'll be, once it is successful, we will be joining major powers who are in the.
This SLV3 rocket with 44 major subsystems and 1 lakh components was successfully launched on the 18th of July 1980 as it injected the 41-kilogram Rohini D2 satellite in the 371 by 861 lower Earth orbit. The success of SLV3 in the same breath also injected confidence in ISRO's capability in indigenously building satellite launch vehicles, which later culminated into the evolution of PSLV, which was later chosen to realize India's prestigious moon mission Chandrayaan-1. Besides the 5 Indian payloads, Chandrayaan-1 also flew 6 more international instruments, demonstrating international cooperation and exchange of ideas, information and knowledge.
Chairman, Indian Space Research Organization, gave me a presentation when they were in the design stage.
Then he simply asked a question, how do you establish yourself that you are gone to the moon? I don't have an answer.
At that stage, I said,
I may in a very short span we were able to develop a system which could fly along with the Chandrayaan and finally deposit our national flag on the surface of the moon on 14th of November last year.
Kalam, as Director DRDL, took over the responsibility of developing the guided missile program of India. He initiated the development of ballistic missiles, making India self-reliant in this field and allowing her to safeguard her sovereignty and security.
Defense research was a highly guarded, secretive work, never shared with many other people outside. He first broke that barrier.
The academicians, they took interest in India's defense programs, and then many of them, maybe small teams, some 10, 15 teams, they started working enthusiastically, and that number is increasing.
As advisor to the Defence Minister, Dr. Kalam led the strategic missile systems, floating projects such as the Light Combat Aircraft and Supersonic Cruise Missile, BrahMos, a joint venture between India and Russia.
One of the first decisions he took was to start a spin-off program by which certain important technologies are developed social
medical sciences in Hyderabad use the lightweight carbon compound developed for the Agni missile to make lighter calipers for polio-affected patients. A visit to one of his colleagues undergoing cardiac treatment introduced Kalam to the field of the heart stent. He formed a team of doctors and engineers to indigenously develop the stent, and thus the Kalam Raju stent was born. The Government of India honoured Kalam with the Padma Bhushan Award in 1981, with the Padma Vibhushan in 1990. India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, was conferred upon him in 1997. Dr. Kalam has the unique distinction of receiving honorary doctorates from 30 universities and institutions and is a recipient of several other awards and fellowships from many other professional institutions.
Very first paper he picked up was my prognosis from Mayo Clinic that my life expectancy was less than 2 years. So Dr. Kalam threw up the paper. He said, "What are we going to do?" I said, "Sir, I will last your tenure, and during each year of your tenure, I'll do an anthology." Now 5 are done.
Dr. Kalam has penned his thoughts and shared his visions in books authored by him.
His books fills one with enthusiasm and is a source of inspiration to everyone with "Yes, we can do it."
Especially Wings of Fire signifies hope and victory against obstacles.
His mission in life now is to ignite happy as President and after. Dr. Kalam is tirelessly propagating the notion of prosperity with application of.
Someone comes and tells how you used the distance education technology, or somebody has used telemedicine, he becomes so happy. It looks like an artist whose work is being appreciated by somebody else. That kind of feeling he has.
Dr. Kalam's World Space Vision 2050, presented at Caltech in an aerospace conference celebrating the 50 years of space technology, has evolved through interaction with many national and international fora.
Focus should be how the low-cost access to the space. You bring down $20,000 to $2,000, then you go reusable launch vehicle, number of times you can use. Second area I have indicated that we must join together, international community. It's a very costly affair for space program of every country. Third thing is space security, because our asset has increased and the international space security force we have to evolve to guard all the space assets.
His message to the world space community is to take up space missions to find solutions to the global concerns of energy, water and mineral resources.
space or solar power satellite is one of the beautiful idea, and to realize that one, you need very big spacecraft, space systems have to go to the geosynchronous orbit. That means it's a multi-nations cooperation very important.
Dr. Kalam's suggestion to the global space community is, if you have knowledge, let others light their candles at it.
We cross nations and we share knowledge, we share human power, we share intellect, and above all, we share our experiences.
As the Aerospace Historical Society, in collaboration with graduate aerospace laboratories at the California Institute of Technology, prepares to pay tribute to a legend with the 2009 International Von Karman Wings Award, Dr. Kalam joins the august company of eminent scientists.
So I am indeed delighted. I will be very delighted because Von Karman is a legend in aeronautics. So many concepts we have Von Karman's book we have used, and so he is a great foundation for aeronautics.
To go back once again to Thiruvalluvar's words, great souls, when their will is active, do mighty deeds rare to achieve.
Country wanted him to be a great scientist, nurturing scientific talents in this country. I think he has achieved that.
He has a passion for the well-being of the humanity. It's well beyond the borders of India. He looks at the globe as his arena.
A toast to a man who dared to aim big. A celebration for a man who was tested by failures and setbacks to be later rewarded with grand success. Let us applaud the journey of this man amongst human beings, from a newspaper boy to a rocket engineer, a technologist to an aerospace pioneer, from the one-stage Rohini rocket to the four-stage SLV-3, from the import regime to self-reliance, to international cooperation, to spacefaring global communities, from the insignificant streets of Rameshwaram to the corridors of power, as the 11th President of India, the darling of the masses, the people's president, from an insatiable student to an inspiring educator, a youth icon, a visionary, an all-time learner, a nationalist, a patriot, and a humble humanitarian, Dr. Abdul Kalam.